Alright guys, I got some of you coming in. I'm doing something a little different, something I don't usually do, and I'm doing a brief unboxing, which means I have a completely different setup than normal, a different way of doing things, and hopefully it turns out okay. I think it's a good setup. It's a pretty rigged up setup, but it should provide enough light for you to see what's going on and enough info for what's going on there. So in case you didn't realize by the title, I was lucky enough to snag some of the new Hero driveshafts from Team Ottsix Racing, and so they're in this package that's over here on my workbench, and I'm going to open them up, take a look at them, see what's going on, talk a little bit about them, reiterate some of the key points that are on the website, some of the information that I have, and a couple of the details that I know from talking to Matt as well. I have not yet gotten to see them, hold them in my hands, any of that fun stuff, but I did open the package just so that I could open it easier while I was on the video. So I'm going to set the camera back up, flip the screen, and we'll get to a little bit of the unboxing and so on and so forth. So, alright. Okay, so there we go. Let me move my less talk, more look. You got it. So, I got a couple tools out just to make sure that maybe I can put them together a little bit here, see what's going on. But, so they come in this nice bag that I got here, and I ended up with one hunk of metal to come to my door. So, let's take a look at what we got here. I was lucky enough to score some drive shafts in all of the available sizes. They come in 4 different sizes, which are set up to be some of the most popular lengths out there. We have the 93 to 118 millimeters, so 3.7, 4.7 length. Got 2 of those guys. So there's 2 of those. I got 2 of the 4.2 to 5.6. Got 2 of those. And 2 of the 5.3 to the 6.3. And lastly, the big one, the 5.6 to 7 inches. So they all come packaged very nicely. I like that it's very clearly labeled on them what they are. So if you get more than one, you can just pull it out and bam, right there. It is, Troy, 1 per package. You get 1 shaft in each package. So I'll grab one and hold it up there, if you can see it in the light. So you get the shaft, you get all of the necessary hardware to bolt it up, and I'll open one up here in just a second and go from there. Guys, if you're just tuning in, or you have tuned in, or whatever's going on, I'm unboxing the Hero drive shafts here. I have a whole pile of them, which is amazing. I'm super excited about that. Get the shaft. So anyway, I have a whole pile of them here. I am going to open one up. We're going to look at it. We're going to mock it up and put it together. And it appears that they have like some directions in this long one here, the big shaft. So maybe that's the one we're going to open up, and we're going to see what's going on. While I'm opening it, let's talk about some of the stuff. So they're boasting some of the longest splines in RC. So I think this one might fit my twin hammers pretty good. If it doesn't fit mine, it will definitely fit my dad's. He has the longer trailing arms, and so a longer drive shaft in the rear is definitely a must-have. Additionally, super tight tolerances, according to all the specs and things that are going on. Very little slop going on inside of the shafts when you're initially putting them on, and they should last for quite some time. One of the things that I really like is that all the little bushings that are in there are replaceable, so you can buy new bushings and you can replace them, and you can kind of clear up any of those things that would be going on or wearing out, or any of those things that might wear over time. It definitely has the largest bushing engagement in the industry. They're easy to work on with the screws. They come in the 4 popular lengths, but here are my directions that I got, and they're in some big directions going on there. It definitely says there to use thread lock, and I highly recommend that. Blue is what Matt's recommending, but also from talking to him, he said that he also recommends red if you're going to run any kind of high power application, any bashing, any racing, anything like that. And Matt's in here now. So if you guys have any questions, you can post them up. I'll answer them. Maybe he's able to answer them, whatever. Additionally, I'm going to use like a machine oil or something like that on it. I didn't have any laying around, so I'm going to have to snag some and kind of go from there after the fact and see what's going on. So let me open up just the shaft itself here. All right, there we go. And so again, this is the longest one available. It's got that nice Hero Ottsix. That will look awesome until we hit some rocks, I'm sure, which happens to all drive shafts. But man, it looks good now. So you can see all of what's going on there. The shaft, the splines go all the way down. So whoop, come on, focus camera. There we go. Whoop, maybe that way. So you can see that the splines are the whole length of the male end of the shaft. And I believe, if I'm not correct, let me know, Matt, but they're also the whole length of the female side of the shaft as well. So size, length, and girth listed on package. Let's go with yes, they are. But again, I'm pretty sure you're just messing with me there, Ryan. So they look good. Definitely smooth going in and out. That one's for you there, Ryan. And so let's see what's in our other package here, all of our hardware. I know for a fact I'm going to rip this and it's going to go all over the place and you guys are going to get to laugh at me. It's going to be super fun. So let's see what I got here. Tons and tons of goodies. So you can see that we have, let's put those down. We have the yokes, your standard size fit. I believe they're 6mm. If not, stop. If not, Matt will correct me, but I believe they are. It is not a cow RC, Matt, actually, and just for that, I'm going to back up and show you. It is my garage backdrop, also doubling as a workspace for an unboxing. So anyway, we got those. Good piece going on there. Here is your center part. I'm missing the term right now for it. Again, come on, camera, focus. There we go. Nice, clean looking piece. Ignore my dirty fingernails, just did brakes on a truck. You got your bushings, little guys. And your set screws that go all the way through the pin and hold your shaft in place. So, magnetic garage floor. No, I do not have a magnetic garage floor, although it might look like it right now. But that's probably kind of a good idea there, Troy, although I'm betting it makes it increasingly more expensive. Bushing block. Thank you, Matt. I knew there was a term for this guy, and it is our bushing block. So, all right. Biggest piece of what's going on here, let's talk a little bit about assembling one and get this thing started. So, we're going to take our bushing block and our shaft here. I'm going to use this one. And so then you're just going to find and line it up so your holes all line up in there, which is a fairly fun thing to do while you're trying to man a camera at the same time. Put my screw down in there. And if you were assembling these for real, you would want to use thread lock. However, I don't have red, and if I'm going to use this shaft, it's definitely going to be used with red thread lock because it's going on the twin hammers. And if you've caught any of the twin hammers videos that I've been doing, I'm not exactly easy on it, and neither is my 3-year-old son. So, oh, come on. Should be easier than that. If I could see what I was doing, guys. Also using the wrong hands. Alright, let me start over. Tip for people who are trying to, oh, I have the wrong size driver. That could be my problem. That's a pro tip for you. Make sure everything fits the first time. Cheat that system just a little bit and spin that bushing block, spin that bushing right in there. And so that sits right in there just like that. I'll put the other side in. Guys, if you have any questions or anything that you want to know, feel free to ask them up. I'll do my best to answer them, but fortunately for me, I have Matt in the feed, so he could also answer as we need if it's something that I don't know, because I'm not an expert, although I have learned a little bit about these in the last couple days here for sure. So, all right, that's loosely fitting there. I got to put my mic down for just a second. You can enjoy all of these beautiful drive shafts for a second while I go get the right size driver, and I'll be right back, guys. Whoops. So Jason wants to know what the steering angle is. I'm guessing you're saying that because you saw Eric's post where he's using them on the front of his Yeti, I believe it is. And so Matt would have to answer that question, is exactly what is the angle that they operate the best within. I believe it was 30 degrees. It's a heck of a lot of heroes. Could only afford to. Yeah. It is a lot of them, that's for sure. Now I'll put them on a whole bunch of stuff. So, all right, there we go. Tighten that down just a tad, just a little bit snug. And again, on that side, man, things work a lot better when you have the right size driver to do this thing. So one of the things that Matt noted in the video that I saw that he did was that instead of just trying to get that all lined up like that, it's much easier for you if you're going to mount these and do what you need to do to use your thumb and your forefinger on the bushing itself, and then you can line up and get things where they need to be. Although another tip for you would have been to put the bushing on your driver ahead of time right now, because that's what I'm trying to do off camera here, so that I can line them up and get it where it needs to go. All right. And so one more, and this end will be pretty well good to go. All right. And so you may notice, I don't notice it so much on this one, but again, I didn't crank them down, so I don't know if that'll make a difference. But one of the things that I had heard from Matt and I had saw on his video that he had posted was that sometimes when you bolt them up, they'll be a little stiff or a little tight at first, and that's because the tolerances are super tight. And so with the tolerances being super tight and them being tight at the beginning, what happens is you'll feel like maybe it's going to bind or something like that. But really what he's saying, and what I believe to be true also, is that within a very, very short window, you will have begun breaking them in, and they will loosen up quite quickly. See, if the whole goal there is to have something that doesn't have a lot of slop in it, so that you don't get a lot of drivetrain slop across the whole window of what's going on. Because I've had that problem in the past, and my trucks are that way right now. So I have older MIPS, and I've run JuneFac in the past and all of that. Mine were tight, wore them pretty quick. Thanks, Jake. You know, I'd rather have them be a little tight at the initial fitting and then wear them in, because they're gonna wear some. It's just the nature of the beast. One of the things you can do to help cut down on that a little bit is to oil them in between runs, like you should pretty much with any drive shaft anyway. Everybody knows, some people, exactly what Jake said, oiling helps too. Everybody knows that some people like to just run their stuff and then put it away and not really kind of maintain or take care of things. But one of the things that I found that is probably the biggest free to next to no money tip in this hobby is to universals run smooth through 35 degrees of angularity. Beyond that, there will be a little bit of vibration at high speeds. Nice. Okay, so there's the answer from the boss man himself. So 35 degrees, and if there's anything more than that, you're going to have a little vibration. Okay. So as I get this other side, this one is fitting a little bit more snug. You definitely want to make sure that you get your bushing in straight, not cross-thread things and so on and so forth. So if I was to initially set these up, the recommended way of doing this is to apply a little thread lock, put your thread in there, again making sure that you get things lined up the way they're supposed to be, and then get it all mounted up so it looks like this end where I've got the whole joint all ready to go. And then after your thread lock's been in there, it's all mounted up, you're good to go. The recommended way of doing it is to back it out just a little bit so you can see the bushing itself. Put just a tap of oil on there, just a little dab will do ya, and then tighten it back up, lock it down with the thread lock, and then wait for it to cure. Don't run it before your thread lock cures. And so some of you may be getting in a hurry and wanting to do things like that, but it always will come back and bite you. So I'll share a little story with you that has nothing to do with Team Ottsix Racing or nothing to do with Hero Driveshafts, but it does have to do with using thread lock incorrectly. So when I first got my GCM transfer case, I used my thread lock incorrectly. I put it right on there, slapped the grease all over it, chucked it in my truck and just took off. And needless to say, it held up great for like 2 comps. And then I was done. So your best bet is to make sure you follow all the manufacturer specs on thread lock and you do what you need to do there. That's the other thing I like about these. So this is the driver that I use for everything else out there. As you can see, like my sizes are worn off my wrenches. I've used them so much. They could probably use an update themselves. However, that through pin, if you can see it, is a 4mm through pin, and it's awesome because you'll be able to get a fair amount of torque on there and it'll stay where it needs to be. When people were using the little ones, the little set screws and the smaller diameter through pins, I definitely had some trouble with some stuff backing out here and there, and I would prefer a bigger diameter through pin just like this one is. So guys, I mean that's the Hero shaft. I assembled one. You can see I've got a bunch more to do, but I just don't have the right equipment on me here tonight to do so. I want to make sure that I get them thread locked and all lubed up the way they need to be and good to go, so I have a long lifespan out of my shafts. And I'm sure that will last me for a very long time. I believe this one's going to be about perfect for my twin hammers when I look at it, and hopefully that'll go well. If you have any other questions for me, anything you need, any other information, let me know. I'm going to cover a couple of the other things that are out here. That was just information I gained either from the directions themselves or from the website or from a couple conversations with Matt. Some of the nice things about these, especially with how does a fixed length shaft compensate for the variation in length from full extension to full in. Oh man, now you're getting complicated on me. I don't understand this English. Tune in tomorrow when Adam applies the lube. I think I'll do that off camera. Yeah, so yeah, I don't understand. I'm sorry, Jason. You're above my head, man. I just play tiny trucks and talk to other people who know what they're talking about. So let's talk about the fact that you could cut these down quite easily. Oh, it does telescope. There you go. Yeah. So yes, they telescope. That's one of the coolest parts about your comment of, oh, never mind, that's great. So one of the best parts is that the spline goes all the way to the end, and so I know that with my MIPS they didn't go all the way to the end. That's cool, Matt. I didn't understand it either. It was out of my league, I'm pretty sure. So But anyway, the nice part about the spline going all the way to the end means that you can create custom lengths. So if you know anything about me, one of the things that I tend to do is I don't really measure anything super precisely. So I couldn't even tell you which one of these sizes of drive shaft is on my truck. I don't know. It's not my nature. It's not who I am, because honestly, I build my stuff to fit and I make it work. So I just go from there. I need a set for TRX 479 Ford Bronco front and back. Sweet, man. Go check them out on the website. My recommendation for you, since I don't know offhand the size of the Traxxas drive shafts themselves, would be to check out the lengths that they say on there. Now, where are the Ottsix shocks? Good question, Jake. I'd like to see them too. So I'm pretty sure we'd like to do that. So the TRX4, again, back to you. My statement to you would be to go check out the length, and then you can order accordingly based off of what it says on the website. I mean, there are 4 lengths available, anywhere from the smallest being 3.7, but you can be cut down all the way to 7 inches. So it should definitely coming. I love it. I've been waiting for my shocks. I cannot wait. I'm super excited on those too. So yeah, measure what you have and then kind of go from there, or check the specs on the Traxxas website. That's how I would have done it. And then just order accordingly with those specs. And then you should figure out what you get and where you need to be from there. So guys, that's kind of my rundown of what's going on. These look like they are great drive shafts. I mean, seriously, there's honestly no slop whatsoever in these. The tolerances are very tight, and for me that's going to be a huge win. Sometimes when I go to comps, they're like, if you have any tire rollback, then it's a reverse or whatever. And let me tell you, my drivetrain is clapped out. So these shafts couldn't come in at a better time. I need all of the ones that are here, to be honest with you, on my trucks, because everything is just beat, and it's been beat for a long time. And hopefully I get as much, if not longer, use out of these as I did my MIPS or my Junefax or any of the other stuff. I still have a plastic shaft on my Class 2, actually, because it's doing what it needs to do. Need a set for the hammers and the ascender. Yeah, man. I know if this one fits, again, like I said, I don't measure anything, so if this one fits on the hammers, it's going on there and it's going to get thrashed. So it will take a beating, and it will live up to it. It's definitely gonna see what goes on there. So if no one else has any immediate questions that I can answer, I'm gonna kind of end this thing, and you guys can look for some other videos or other things coming out from me. You will see some stuff coming out in regards to these. I'm gonna take a few pictures. I'm planning on putting them together, putting them on my trucks, and then running them, and then maybe we'll see what I have to say about them after I run them. They look good to me. I think they're gonna work well, so not surprised. I don't remember what you're talking about because I totally lost track of what I said. So anyway, I'll flip the camera back to me, talk to you guys for a second. Check out that sweet garage, by the way. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in, checking out this live feed about what's going on. Trailfinder 2, sorry, Andy Ritchie, Trailfinder 2, I need to put a longer one for the back, since I put the revolver shackles and the Z-Box in the back. It pulls all the way out in some situations. Andy, I will try and help you navigate all of that off camera through some messages or whatever's going on. I have no problems with what's going on there. Thrashing with my hammers, absolutely. Matt, thank you. These are great. The shafts are amazing. I can't wait to take pictures. They're going to look freaking awesome, by the way. That paired with some of the places that I have in mind, some of the things that I have in mind to take pictures of, oh man. But anyway, so I just need medium things to take pictures of. So Andy for 12.3 Bronco by the shortest and the second shortest. Perfect. So Jake's already working on taking care of you, Andy. I will check back in comments and things like I always do, see if there's anything I can do to help you out. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, anything you need, feel free to post this up, even if you're seeing it later. If I am going to bump this over to YouTube, so I apologize to all of you for being like, what are they talking about? Are they able to be cut down for custom lengths? Absolutely. They're a great shaft to cut down for custom lengths. And I'm going to flip this over and show you why for just a second. Sorry, I was closing it out. But the best part about these is that they're keyed all the way to the full length of the shaft. So, come on, camera, focus. Maybe. Alright, so instead of being like some of the competitors of the shafts that are out there, they're keyed the whole way down. So you can cut them down, and then from there you'll have your custom stuff. And so they're kind of almost builder's shaft-esque type of thing. One of the other things that I really love that I didn't mention, because I got all carried away in trying to make sure I mentioned as much information as I could, and it has nothing to do with anything other than the look. So I love the most about these is that they look like a real drive shaft. Now, obviously, like, this is an RC and it's not perfect to real life, but man, with the way that that is set up, it just looks the part. And that's something that I've missed from my MIPS, from my Junefax, from all of that stuff. So that is one of the things that I wanted to get out there from my end, because looks matter to me. In case you haven't seen any of my trucks, it's a big deal, and I think that these look the part. So anyway, so I do have some building ahead of me, Jake, and again, I'm going to actually close this out this time, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for posting any questions. If you post any questions, if you need anything from me after the fact, let me know. I will do my best to answer them, or at least I know the people to get the answers. So we'll go from there. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have any questions, please answer the question. I'll answer the questions over there too. Comment, send me a message, whatever you need. I'd be more than happy to help hook you up and put you in the right direction so you get what you want or need for your application. Remember, there are builder shafts, so you can kind of create your own custom length much easier than some of the other options that are out there. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for checking it out. And I need to get to putting these together so that I can start using them, because I'm excited and I can't wait. So I'll catch you guys all on Thursday on Live at 9:45. Yeah, thanks.